are back on this issue of letter writing. At the first part, we dealt about what is a letter, and then what are the characteristics of letter writing. You will remember that at that point in time, we gave you 3 points, and the first of the point is that it is conveyance. Secondly, we talked about handwritten document, and the third one is that it must be done neatly, or the presentation must be orderly. So this part, we are going into what is called parties involved in letter writing. Parties involved in letter writing. 1, there is the sender. 2, there is the proposed reader, or the person that is called addressee. I'll give you the other names or terminologies for these parties. Thirdly, though it is still the same person that we are talking about, reply process. The reply process, which is also through the addressee, who is giving a response to what was earlier turned on. So the parties involved are 1, the sender. You remember the first time I said the sender is called the writer. The writer. It is he who has the idea, who has the thought, who has the information, who has the feelings that is expressing, which is being written in that letter that you are passing on, that is passing on. Secondly, the person who is the addressee, that's the person who is supposed to read, the reader of the letter, the one who is going to receive the message, because it is done through the process of conveyance. So, the proposed reader, since the letter is still considered by the person who is writing. So, thirdly, then the reply process starts from the addressee to the person who has read that letter, who has read the letter. So, we call it the cause, the one who causes the reply. The response is the respondent to the previous letter that was written. So, what is the process of letter writing? What is the process of letter writing? This process of letter writing starts with what is called planning. I'm saying this planning, I'm talking about it. It is not that it is not something that you have not been doing, but we must lay it out so that people will get what is really happening. The planning is getting the materials. The materials to use ready for the process. Getting the materials ready for the process. 2, there is the so-called rough work. Rough work that you have to do. The rough work, a term used for it is the outlining. Outline. I will call it outlining. But the thing that is produced is the outline. The thing that is produced is called the outline. So, the third aspect of it is the replying process. The reply process. If you remember, the letter has been sent, somebody has read, that person that read is... So, one thing is getting involved in the planning work, getting things that you need, your pen, your pencil, your paper, and other things that you want to use. Even in these days now, you now have what is the phone or the computer, the laptop. So you have to get those things ready. Then the replying process. We are talking about the processes involved in letter writing. The reply process. The process involved in getting the letter written initially comes to the part of the person who has received it, who has read it, to cause a reply. Cause. What's the word? It is cause. That is to start. To cause the reply. So that's the process. One of the three processes that are involved in. So the aspect now I want to go into is what are types of letters? Types of letters. Types of letters. The first type of letter is the formal letter. The second part, or the second type, is semi-formal. There's always a hyphen between the semi and the formal. And then the third part is the informal letter. So those are the three types of letters that we are talking about and that are very necessary for you to take note when you are studying English. So the planning process is getting all the materials ready. The rough work that you are going to do, the outlining or the so-called layout. The outlining or the layout. So you arrange the things you need in a way that by the time you go into it, it's done. I will give an example. We'll do a practical example, and then the reply process involves these processes too. So what are the types of letters that we are talking about? There are three types of letters: formal letter, semi-formal letter, and then the informal. Remember, every time when you are writing like this, you must use a capital letter, not just small letters too. So the formal letters. A formal letter is the type of letter you write to a business organization, a government organization. It may be a complaint. It may be application for job. It may be application for rent or things that are due that you are due. So it may be a job application. It may be a complaint. It may be an official letter to people who are in government offices, who are in companies, or who are in positions of authority. So formal letter is an official letter. Formal letter is an official letter. It's a formal letter when it is official. But the semi-formal is rather casual, or in between the formal and the informal. The informal letter is a casual letter, which you can write between you and your siblings or your peers, your friends, your colleagues. You write what is called casual letter. So if you can get all this, then we should be talking about what do you mean by formal letter? Because formal letter has what is called, or like I was saying here, the outlining. So there is going to be the layout or the pattern for each of these letters. Particularly formal letter has a layout or a pattern. You don't just do it anyhow. There is a way that you pass it on, that you construct it, that you place it, and that is why you do a rough work, the outlining, before you go on into what we are talking about. So the layout for a formal letter, I want to suggest that we should take that up at the next class or next session that we are going to have. Don't forget, we have talked this time about the parties involved in letter writing, the process involved in letter writing, and then the process, like we had discussed, is planning, rough work that you have to do, and then the reply process. So we have talked about the types of letters too, the formal letter, semi-formal letter, and then the informal letter. Next class we are going to be talking about formal letter and then the layout that is involved in formal letter. It's been a great day having you around today. Thank you so much.